The surprises that keep popping up on the YNW Melly case are just mind-blowing. At every junction of the case, something new happens that leaves everyone shaking their heads in disbelief. This time around, the shocker has nothing to do with YNW Melly, but with his mom. And trust me, when you find out, you won't know what to think. Keep watching till the end of this video to see rappers react to YNW Mellys mom's OnlyFans. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to the #1 celebrity jeweler, the Ice Champ. The Ice Champ is doing a special deal for the next 24 hours on diamond watches, chains, and more. Follow at the Ice Champ on Instagram now.
YNW Mellys mom opens an OnlyFans account. YNW Melly's retrial for the alleged murder of 2 of his friends and crew members is set to begin in February 2024. But in advance of that, the rapper's mother is rolling out something new of her own, an OnlyFans. On Friday, December 1st, Jamie King announced on Instagram that she had started an OnlyFans account. She claimed that the account was open to raise money to support her son during his trial. YNW Melly's mom has been more than supportive of her son since the start of his trial. When she's not campaigning for his freedom on social media, Melly's mom is advertising her OnlyFans profile with salacious mirror selfies that show off her toned tummy and thick booty. "Click the link in my bio," Jamie wrote in her caption. She also included a link to her live stream, suggesting that paying users could see more of her body there. At this time, Melly's mom is charging $10.99 a month for a subscription to her OnlyFans, with special discounts for purchasing 3, 6, or 12 months worth of access up front. So far, she only has 4 posts available for fans to drool over, but we're sure that it won't be long until more of her thirst traps make their way onto the page. It's unclear how X-rated her content is, though we're curious to see if she sticks around for the long haul or if she's simply keeping herself busy until her son is back in court. During YNW Melly's double murder trial this past summer, the embattled rapper wasn't the only member of his family making headlines. His mother, Jamie King, was mentioned several times throughout the court proceedings and has been standing loyally by her 24-year-old's side as he continues to fight for his innocence. The prosecution ultimately failed to convict him of the charges during their first attempt. Still, as he awaits his retrial, Melly remains behind bars. Unfortunately for the Florida native, he's spending yet another holiday season in the slammer. At this time, there seems little King can do to help her son besides remaining in good spirits herself. YNW Melly's trial date is delayed again. According to Law and Crime, Judge John Murphy made the decision earlier this week to push the trial back to February 5th, 2024, after prosecutors requested a delay. In doing so, he cited extraordinary circumstances warranting the extension. The trial was originally set to begin a month earlier. Throughout the defendant's 20-plus pleadings and in-court hearings, the defendant complains of the number of witnesses that must be deposed as well as the many motions that must be heard, prosecutors wrote in one motion. The defendant complains that the state has filed motions after the court's discovery cutoff, yet the defendant himself has also filed motions after this date. Several of the state's motions are a result of the defendant's new criminal activity. Prosecutors in YNW Melly's double murder retrial have requested to admit evidence of alleged witness tampering, according to the Miami Herald. They charged him with witness tampering in connection with his first murder trial. Prosecutors argue that the rapper and his team attempted to prevent his ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, from testifying. It was stated that Melly went to great lengths to have some of his goons contact Hamilton, threatening her not to say a word and forbidding her to appear in court if she was asked to testify against him. They also claimed that he had some unauthorized help from his co-defendant, Cortland Henry. YNW Melly's mom reacts to new trial date. YNW Melly's mom responded to the news that her son's murder retrial has been pushed back on her Instagram story on November 15th. "I'm sorry, kid," she captioned one photo of the headlines. In another post, she elaborated, "Lawsuits, lies, delayed trials, overdue bills, seeing death every day at work but have no choice but to work, broken heart, sadness, stress, tears, fears, 5 years. Jamie King also shared her feelings about the entire case, stating that the situation has been extremely emotionally draining and even caused her to have a heart attack. She described how much she had cried and claimed that she was going to stay out of the media so she could have a cool head to support her son in his trials. "I refuse to let this kill me. I try to be peaceful and respectful to all of you. I pray for everyone because I know it's the right thing to do," she said. YNW Melly's retrial gets a new jury. On November 9th, a judge granted YNW Melly's request to restart the jury selection process for the retrial. The move was made because the rapper's defense team made an error when stating the law to the jurors, according to Law and Crime's Kathy Rusan. They told them that the prosecution had to prove Melly guilty of everything he's accused of, including his alleged gang affiliation, beyond a reasonable doubt. Prosecutors, of course, noted the error, pointing out that he can still be found guilty of murder even if they are unable to prove his alleged gang affiliation. Prosecutors then pushed for the rules to be restated to the jury, ensuring they had a clear grasp of them. Melly's team, on the other hand, wanted to strike the entire panel of jurors, which of course didn't seem likely to happen. According to them, they'd lose all credibility with the jurors should the court read that instruction. The prosecution wasn't happy with the judge's decision and filed a motion in response. Attorneys for YNW Melly were asking for another chance to question the lead detective in the case. Prosecutors claim the defense doesn't have the right to question the detective again. Judge John Murphy granted the defense's motion to recuse prosecutor Christine Bradley with an abundance of caution after defense attorneys claimed prosecutors didn't reveal that the lead detective in the case had been previously accused of being willing to lie as he gathered evidence. The judge didn't find that Bradley's integrity had been compromised, but agreed that she couldn't serve as a prosecutor on the case if the defense was planning to call her as a witness regarding the credibility of one of the investigators. Melly's attorneys also requested Murphy remove the Broward State Attorney's Office from the case and potentially dismiss the case entirely. The request came after Assistant State Attorney Michelle Boutros, who works for the Broward office, testified that she overheard Mark Moretti, the lead investigator in the case against Melly, ask a Broward County deputy to lie about being present when Moretti executed a search warrant outside his jurisdiction last October, forcibly seizing a phone from Melly's mother as part of a witness tampering investigation. YNW Melly pens a letter to his dad. Unlike everyone around him, YNW Melly is feeling optimistic about the outcome of his retrial. The rapper hand-wrote a letter to his father regarding recent thoughts he's had. In the letter, he talked about how he wouldn't change anything about his life, how prison turned him into a man, and how he thinks he'll be home by the next trial. Melly's words carried a profound sense of resilience and acceptance as he candidly wrote to his dad, "Listen, man, I don't hate you. God put me through everything for a reason. Not having a dad made me the man I am today. It was meant to be that way. I wouldn't change nothing about my life, not even the last 4.5 years I spent in this dark shithole. It made me a man." He seemed very optimistic about coming home